I wanted something that felt very real, but I also wanted that reality to feel beautiful and not a kind of kitchen sink realism. And so I wanted to find somebody who I thought, together, we rub together, we will create something that has a kind of beauty and elegance and a cinematic look to it, but also feels at all times very, very authentic. I'd seen A Single Man, which I just thought was, an incredibly beautiful piece of work. And I talked to Edu about this, and we agreed on so many things. I thought we worked brilliantly together.
Saul and myself, we come from the similar creative background. We wanted everything to feel quite natural, quite organic, not trying too hard, not trying to make too clever things, too clever camera moves, too clever lighting. Making it real, making it natural, but always with a point of view of, towards the more aesthetic side of reality.
Okay, here we go. Saul brought quite a few crew that he'd worked with before. Michael O'Connor had worked on The Duchess with him. Others were new, so we had Edu Grau shooting, we had Jenny Shercourt doing hair and makeup design. So, it was a mixture of people who knew each other very well and had a shorthand, and some others who were we were finding that kind of working grammar, but actually it was a very successful team from that point of view.
Edu had great ideas, he really did have great ideas, and he's really young. He wasn't keen on the colour green. So, of course, no green ties, no green hats, no green dresses, no green jackets, no green skirts, no green shoes, no things like that. So, that came direct from Edu.
Luckily, it didn't bother us too much, his green thing. We tried to be absolutely accurate. And, of course, it was Saul's brief to keep it true to the conditions of the day, the environment, and not to allow ourselves to go into any, especially for my department, any glamour or any hints of glamour that we can so easily do. So we kept strict tabs on that, with the hair, simple makeup. And Michelle was absolutely up for it. She was entirely up for doing it in a very, very plain, unmade-up way.
The script felt seamlessly beautiful, and the book felt very authentic. Every detail that was in that book we used as much as we possibly could. And particularly the descriptions of the Nazi uniform, always describing the glove, the belt, the buckle on the belt, the colour of the uniform, the style of his buttons, his cap, everything, the boots. And this is for sure that this was something she saw at first hand at the time.
I've worked with Michael before, so I sort of knew it would be easy because he's got such a terrific eye. But we wanted Madame Angellier to be very dark, and she mostly wears black. And getting the French look as opposed to the English look of the war or the American look of the war. There's no one better in the world to do that than the British for their wig making and their costume designing.
I had to do a costume fitting, and then I went in there and I saw the costume hanging. Costume does a lot for you. You don't have to play the German. You are the German, obviously.
All the actors contributed to what they were wearing. Lambert's a very handsome man. Lambert knows, a lot about French society and the history of French society, and probably upper class society more than probably anyone on the film. So I would talk to Lambert about that. And do you think in French society people this and people that?
The work with Michael O'Connor is fantastic because he is so talented, and what's different with him is the fact that he doesn't just give you period clothes. He's very, very specific about the period, but then he works with you as an actor, and he shows you how to use your costume. And the funny thing is, he tells you the story of your character much better than you would on your own. And Michael is very interested in why people do things in scenes and what has happened to them. So therefore, how it expresses itself in the costume.
Apfel. Ja, Herr Major, ich bin der Vicomte, das ist unglaublich. Herr Major, bitte! Herr Major!
While we're busy in the main trailer with the principals, I have a very strong team dealing with all the ups and downs, the ins and outs of 500 crowds, something like that. But we would have seen each extra before we start shooting or during the course of shooting. Each extra goes through makeup and costume, and so we know what that extra looks like. If her hair is completely wrong for the period, then we fit them with a wig and it's there ready on the day. So we've seen each one of them before we actually shoot.
Hey! You! Get away from my car!
Hi, I'm Valerie with more action for you with an interesting fact from Independence Day. The scene in which Will Smith drags an unconscious alien across the desert was filmed on the Salt Flats near Salt Lake in Utah. The line where Smith says, "And what the hell is that smell?" was unscripted and was actually referring to a rotting smell of dead shrimp coming from the lake. Download our film is now up, available for both Android and iOS.